Hi. So I want to share with you an experience that I had last October at a conference where I was hired to create a refuge space. And there was one particular moment that just stayed with me and will never leave, because in my mind, I'm like, this is it. This is possible. Nobody can tell me differently because I've seen it and I've created it with my own eyes and with my own intention. So this happened inside of this space that I curated that had all of these beautiful booths on the side of it where people could come together and do creative craft things that I had available for them: coloring, oracle decks, stem toys that you could just sit and kind of play with in your own self. There were extra booths where people could have quiet conversations, you could journal. My favorite spot was the space kind of off center where there were 4 futons that I set up for people to have naps and to just lay down. And then in the back, there was a space for people to have shiatsu massage. So there was one day where I was actually facilitating a grief circle in the middle of this space. And every single booth was full up. So people were really utilizing the space. They were coming in, they were coloring, they were having journal moments with themselves. They were pulling oracle cards and writing, and all of the beds were full up. So there were 4 people who were just resting or sleeping, and there was someone in the back having a massage. And then someone came in. This was like the cherry on the cake for me. Someone came in and started doing their daily prayers in the corner. And all of this beautiful introspective rest and self-care and prayer and ritual that was happening in the same room at the same time blew my mind. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I had ever had. And I said, this is possible. This is possible. Imagine that this kind of space could be in your workplace. This kind of space is possible in hospitals, in schools, a space where you can go and have a moment with yourself. Like, if you think about it, I was having a conversation with one of my peers about, like, where do people go when they say, I just need a moment, if they're full of emotion and they just need to cry or they just need to lay down. A lot of the times people will have to leave the building. Like, there's not actually a space that is a container for that. Or you might find someone crying in the bathroom or in the hallway or in the stairwell or in the closet or in the alley. Like, all of these places that are really not nurturing, not loving, not tender, not beautiful. And it just gave me an imagination and a hope and a dream and a desire and a knowing that it's possible to have these spaces in our collective workspaces, even in our homes. You can create a room where it's the refuge room. And so I want to share this with you just to inspire you to start to think and imagine in the spaces where you're working, in your family spaces, that maybe it's important to start to think spatially about what is needed to hold our full experience as a human being. What kind of space can hold when someone needs a moment to cry? What kind of space can hold when someone needs a moment to lay down and rest, or just journal and reflect for a moment, or to color, to unwind, or just have a private conversation with another person? So that's just it. If you're holding a conference and you want a refuge space, because Lord knows in conferences, they're completely overwhelming, and oftentimes people are just burnt out at the end of them. And so this was another feedback that I got about this space in particular, that, it was a space that you could go to without having to go all the way back to your hotel room. So I just want to share that with you all. If you want me to design a refuge space for your conference, If you want me to design a refuge space for your office space, please connect with me, and I'd love to collaborate with you on designing a space that is there to hold our full humanity.